What do you think the public should know about fireworks and its effect on horses?
I think that what they most need to understand is that they might accidentally upset a horse or any livestock in the area and make it very nervous, fractious, and not all horses have a place to go inside to get away, to keep them in a smaller, more confined space. These horses are outside behind me right now. If this horse were to be super frightened by a bomb going off close by, it can hurt itself running around, it can hurt itself running through a fence. These things actually really do happen. So I guess what I would hope for was that neighbors might think about how they're impacting the animals around them.
And what is it? What is it about the fireworks? Is it the sounds? Is it the lights? Is it just the suddenness of it? What impacts them, or what kind of triggers their reactions?
I think it's probably all of those things to some extent. Certainly the sound, the explosive sound is, these are flight animals. They run from fearful things. So the sound is a huge issue. But as you suggested too, the suddenness of it, it's completely still and then there's an explosion. I mean, that makes us jump with excitement. It frightens them sometimes to death. And I guess that's another thing I would ask of neighbors. If you know you're going to set off fireworks, it would be very helpful if you could communicate that to your neighbor that has animals, so that they can plan for it. They can make arrangements if they're able to put their horse in a stall, or if their dog needs to be sedated in order to endure the firework explosions. They can know that on this particular evening you're having a party and you're planning on setting off legal fireworks. Communicating with your neighbors can help them make arrangements to keep their animals safer and to keep the humans safer, so that they don't have a frightened animal inadvertently injure the humans. I mean, I do know that like this particular farm is sitting up on a hill. Sound carries from way, way, way down the hill. Neighborhoods, probably a half a mile to a mile away, are going to impact my situation, particularly my dog. My largest dog, my Great Dane, is going to be freaking out the entire time that's going off from very far away. So the horses you're fearful of because they're so dramatic and can seriously injure themselves and perhaps the humans that are taking care of them. The dogs, I mean, there are more dogs than there are horses, and they are so uncomfortable, many of them, with the firework sounds, that they're miserable for the entire 4th of July season. There's all kinds of trouble, and you can't make it better for some of those dogs. No matter what you try to do to help them, there's nothing that is going to relieve their discomfort from those explosives going on. So, perfect world, I wouldn't have any major fireworks going off close to my farm where my animals are. But if people are going to celebrate legally and at an appropriate time, knowing that they're going to do that is very helpful, especially this year. Maybe some people that haven't done it before, they might be doing it this year because perhaps their favorite fireworks show isn't going to happen under the current health conditions. They might be thinking of having a nice time with their neighbors and setting off some fireworks. Just take a minute and consider what's around you and communicate with any animal owners close to you and let them know what your plans are so they can do what they can.